Welcome to 2020, guys. It is January 6th already. It is just before 11 a.m. I hope everybody's doing well. The new year 2020 is treating me quite well, half sarcastically. But let's get into this topic about building muscle. It's really a lot more simple than you'd think. What is the reason that we go to the gym? Everybody knows you go to the gym to get bigger, right? To get bigger muscle, to get stronger. But why? Because the gym acts as a stimulus to build muscle. So when you're in the gym, working out, doing your barbell curls, your bench presses, your squats, all that stuff, you're breaking down the muscle. Then it's in your off days and when you're not training those muscles that they grow. Most people know this. But we need to look at things in a bigger picture. We need to look at progressive overload. That is the key to building muscle. Most important thing is progressive overload. Are you getting stronger over time? Now, to elicit muscle growth, what we have to do is stimulate the muscle, of course. So this is why we work out and we lift weight. So body weight lifts can only get you so strong. You can only get so strong and so big doing push-ups and sit-ups and reverse push-ups and like body weight movements. They're great to start off with and to kind of ease your way into working out, say in a gym or in a facility using weights, but they're only good for so far. And eventually you kind of top out. You can't really get that big or that strong doing those exercises. So you got to lift weights. And as time goes on, this is why it's so important to track your workouts and track what you're doing in the gym, because you need to get better and you need to regulate as many variables as possible. So progressive overload is the most important. So are you getting stronger over time? Are you lifting more weight over time? Are you getting better over time? And there's a few ways to do this. So when you stimulate that muscle once you're at the gym breaking it down, the whole purpose that it comes back bigger and stronger is because there's a response. There is a stimulus to break that muscle down and for it to regrow bigger and stronger. So if you're lifting heavier weights, that's the response you need to get bigger and stronger. So the best way to progressively overload, I guess, is to increase volume. So the total volume you could just look at as a simple formula. Volume equals load, so whatever weight you're using, times reps, times sets. So say you do 100 pounds on the bench press, you do 2 sets of 10 reps. That's 20 times 100, that is 2,000 pounds of volume. So that's 2,000 total pounds of volume. So say in a month from now, you're gonna want a higher number than that. Otherwise, that's not progressive overload. You're not getting stronger. You're not gonna be getting bigger, therefore you're not gonna get results. You're going through the motions. You're now giving your body that stimulus to grow. So you're not going to make progress. So how do we increase volume? Well, if you look at the equation, volume equals load times reps times sets. So there's 3 variables there that we could do basically to increase volume. We could alter the load, so we could increase the number of the number on the weight that we're doing. So instead of doing a 100-pound bench press, maybe we could do a 125-pound bench press. But with that, we're not going to be able to do as many reps. So you're going to have to alter the formula a little bit and increase the number of sets, therefore, to keep volume constant. Now, another thing that we could do is to simply add sets, which is what you'd probably have to do if you're increasing the total workload. So you could increase the number of sets. So maybe instead of, say you want to do the same weight, you don't want to do a heavier weight. So we'll work with the same 100 pounds. Instead of doing 2 sets of 10 reps, we'll do 4 sets of 10 reps. That's increasing volume. That's going to increase over the week. So as the weeks go on, depending on the program that you're following, you're going to want that number to go up as the weeks go on. That'll continue your progress. Again, if you're alternating your rep ranges and your exercises, it's going to be hard to track your volume. It's going to be hard to track your progress. So that's why I recommend sticking to a program, sticking to the exercise you're doing in that specific program for a given amount of time, however long you want the program to be. I recommend at least 8 weeks. I like 12, 16, even longer. That being said, I've done programs that are shorter. I've altered things, but I'm in the camp of keeping as many variables constant for as long as possible, and then you could really see the results. So it's really quite simple. So you could increase the load, you could increase the number of sets you do, You can increase the number of reps you do, but again, you're going to have to factor in the weight and also the rate of perceived exertion. So are you pushing yourself to failure every single set? And that's something that you cannot do. You simply can't do that. You can't train to failure every single set. I personally like to train to failure on the last set of that last exercise for that body part. So if I'm doing chest, shoulders, triceps together, that last set of cable crosses or last like 2 sets, cable crossovers are usually what I do last. So I'll go to failure and push it as hard as I can. Then I'll go to my shoulder exercises. My last set of lat raises, maybe I'll do like a drop set to failure, or a super giant set to failure, or a super set, and I'll do all sets to failure, something like that. Never heavy compound movements I go to failure. Never. It's only accessory movements or secondary movements, not compound movements. So no bench, no squat, no dead. Well, I shouldn't say no dead because I do kind of push it hard on deads, but you got to keep that in mind, and you don't want to be taxing your central nervous system too hard, because then you won't be able to recover as much either, because your central nervous system does take a long time to recover. So overtraining isn't that huge of a concern, but once you get into the central nervous system fatigue and it starts impacting your training, you feel really tired and lethargic all the time. There's a variety of signs. You could just look them up on like WebMD or Google, and you could probably, make more sense of it that way. But increasing frequency is another way that you can essentially elicit growth. So increasing the frequency of your training. So instead of training body parts, and this is an example that I give in my book that I'm currently writing, this is the part that I'm on that's kind of the purpose of me making this video. Increasing frequency when volumes equal improves muscle gains and strength gains, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. Volume, which is the most important, that remains the same. With the research that I looked at, I cited a bunch of studies. They basically changed the training 1 day per week and then cut the volume and then divide it amongst 3 days. So that group experienced a lot more muscle gain. I think it was like 72% or 68% or something like that, more muscle growth than the group that was doing it all in 1 day, which is pretty crazy. So increasing that could be another way of simply increasing your volume or increasing your muscle mass, basically. And I was going to break down this example that I have in the book, but I'll just say buy the book. It's going to be cheap as hell, and just read it there, because it would take me a long time to describe it, honestly. Without the visual, it kind of might be a little bit confusing. But I would also like to add, before I close out this video, because that's pretty much going to be the end of this topic, but I have been looking. I got my old camera. I'm just trying to set it up right now. I don't know if I need a new battery or something, but something's wrong with the battery. But I'm looking to increase the quality on these videos and have like screencasts and things like that going on. Also, I guess as a final side point, I was going to post a topic. I kind of want to, maybe I'll do it on my website and then I'll publish the website. I mean, it is published, but I'll actually submit the website, so that way there could be kind of a comment, like a forum for everybody to communicate, or if you want to drop me questions or things like that, because I'm looking for topic ideas still. So if you guys have any ideas on topics that you want me to cover, if there's specific questions that you guys have, again, you can email me. I say this all the time. My email is jdayfitness@gmail.com, or just drop a comment. I see all the comments. I get notifications, so I do see those. YouTube is a little bit weird with their notifications, but usually, I see everything eventually, and it all comes up. So just let me know what you guys want. Do you guys want more life advice? Do you want more workout advice? I know there's going to be a few of you that leave a comment down below that have watched this far, and I know what you're going to request, but productive things that would be useful and beneficial and maybe entertaining. If you guys want stories about specific, times in my life, I have some pretty interesting stories, some embarrassing stories, but just let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys real soon. But to finally sum up this whole video, since I was talking about volume, I know I threw a lot at you guys. Most important thing when looking to build muscle is progressive overload. Are you getting stronger over time? And then as you progress along your training journey, once you develop your training program, you figure out what you want to do, you need to manage your volume over time. So how much work are you doing over time? And I like to compare in terms of body part and go from there. Keep your movements the same. And then there's a million different ways that you can increase your volume over time, whether you want to lift heavier weights and do more sets, whether you want to just do more sets, whether you want to do more reps in sets. Maybe you need to use a heavier or lighter weight. Maybe you need to adjust your rep ranges. Maybe you need to adjust your training frequency. Tons of different things you could do. Again, my book's going to be available really soon. putting some finishing touches on it, and then I got to write another probably 20 pages. Unfortunately, it is not ready by the new year. I hit some roadblocks per se, and I haven't been as dedicated to this as I should have been. So I take full responsibility for that. It was a goal that I set up that I did not achieve, and I'm upset about it. But I'm still plugging along, and I'm still gonna get this shit done. I'm not giving up. I'm not quitting. I just have to add some more diagrams and pictures to it too. But yeah, definitely let me know topics. Let me know what you guys think about training, even though nobody's probably gonna comment on the training and the volume aspect of it. But regardless, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy 2020, guys. Have a great day.